Right now, you can get 10% off retail orders of comic supplies from bcwsupplies.com when you use the promo code ScottyD at checkout.
And there's no space between Scotty and D.
BCW Supplies. Protect, store, display. Book 1, Part 2, The Last Padawan. It is the dawn of the rebellion. Growing tired of the Emperor's iron rule, groups of people have begun to dissent in secret to fight for freedom, including the mysterious rebel Kanan Jarrus. It has been 15 years since the fall of the Republic and the birth of the evil Galactic Empire, when Imperial clone troopers purged the peacekeeping Jedi Order by the command of the Emperor. Now, Kanan, once a young Jedi Padawan by the name of Caleb Doom, who fought alongside his Jedi Master Depa Billaba during the Clone Wars, has returned to the planet Collar and is forced to remember the day the Jedi Purge began.
Hey Web World, Scotty D, thanks for stopping by to another video here in my comic book series on my channel. And if you want to watch the rest of the videos in the series, it's real simple to do so. All you have to do is go on over to my main YouTube channel page. Once you get there, click on playlists. Once you're inside of the playlist area, you're going to see comic book collecting. Click on it, it'll take you into the comic book collecting playlist, and all of the videos are right there. It is that simple. And if you want to reach out to me, it's equally as simple. You can email me or tweet me. The email account, scott@scottydonline.com, and the Twitter account is @scottydonline. Both of those are in the video description below for easy find and easy use, as is the promo code for that 10% savings over at bcwsupplies.com. You can find that promo code in the video description below. So, we are going to be covering this comic book today. This is Kanan, The Last Padawan, number 2. But before we get started on this in my review, my first thoughts around this comic, let me show you some of the other books that I picked up in my pull list over at my LCS. This is the CGI variant cover for Kanan number 2. So here is the standard cover right here. Here is the CGI variant cover for Kanan number 2. And I really like this cover because I enjoy the heck out of Rebels on Disney XD, and of course Kanan is a main character in Rebels, and I thought it'd be really fun to be able to pick up all of the CGI variants that come out for the Kanan series. So that is the variant cover for the CGI rendition of Kanan number 2. And I also picked up this one right here. This is the 5th printing variant cover. Get that, 5th printing run for the Star Wars series that just came out in January of this year. I did do a full review of this comic book. You can find that in the comic book collecting playlist. And what I like about these variant covers for the additional printing runs that they're doing is they're not changing the graphic itself. They're just changing the background color. So this one has the yellow or gold with the black letters on it. I think it shows very, very nicely, and I'm happy to have this one in my collection as well. So this is the 5th printing cover variant for the Marvel Star Wars series that just came out in January. Pick that up at your local comic shop. If they can't get it for you, ask them if they can special order it for you from their distribution. And if not, let me know and I'll see if I can't find another location for you to get that. But we are here to talk about this guy right here, Star Wars Kanan, The Last Padawan, number 2. Again, the standard cover right here. In the last we left off in this series, Kanan, Depa, and some of the clone troopers were all hanging around a campfire, and one of the commanders stepped aside for a holographic communication transmission, and that was when we seen Order 66 being given to the clone troopers, and that tripped them over and put them into action to execute Order 66. And we join now in that very moment by the fire. Caleb is relaxing when all of a sudden his name is called, and he's kind of in a daydream at this point. And we know from the prequels, things are about to get really ugly at this point. And this is a 2-page spread graphic. It's very intense, and you'll find your eyes all over the place just trying to take everything in, because you know what's happening right at this very moment if you've watched the prequel movies and you understand what Order 66 is all about. If you don't know what Order 66 is all about and you're going to experience it for the first time, I'm going to ask you to bear down. I'm going to ask you to hold on to your bootstraps because it's going to get intense for you. I can promise you that. Now, as you're trying to take in all of the graphics, Caleb is then ordered to run, but he finds himself kind of in a locked state, and he can't run. He's like in a shocked state because he can't believe what's happening. All of these clones who were their friends and their allies have now turned to be enemies and mercenaries at this point. So just then he snaps out of the shock that he's in, and he joins in the fight. Now, Deppa and Caleb cut down a few of the clones very easily with their lightsabers, but the numbers are uneven, and Deppa says, hey, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here fast. The numbers, we're going to get, slaughtered in this place. We've got to get out of here. So, she tells Caleb, get out, run, go. I'll catch up to you. And Caleb starts to run up the hill, and he looks back, and he can almost tell at this point that things are not what they seem to be. And he also feels kind of a, not a betrayal, but almost like he's being lied to at the very first time by his Jedi Master. And he feels weird about that. And just about that time, he looks back over his shoulder, and Deppa Billaba is cut down by a clone trooper's blaster in clear sight of Caleb. And he's in shock at this moment. He takes a very quick moment to reflect on what has just happened right before his eyes. His master just got slaughtered by the clone troopers, and he can see that they're after him next, and that's when he snaps back into, I've got to survive. Deppa told me to run. I've got to get out of here. I got to survive. I got to get over these hills into the woods. I got to lose the trail so that these clone troopers don't get a hold of me too. So we see that happen and unfold, and we can tell this is the very beginning of the transformation from Caleb to Kanan, because this is really where Caleb has to go into hiding, and he escapes into the inner city under cloak. But the locals are already talking about what's happening, and he finds himself traveling throughout the city, dirty, eating out of garbage cans. He's getting rained on. He's out in the elements, just no shelter at all. And he was not really trained for this. He realizes that for the most part, he was taken out of being a youngling to being a Padawan and being trained, and never really taught the true ways to be able to survive as a Jedi, other than just learning how to do battle and learning the ways of the holocron and stuff like that. So again, he finds himself starving, tired, dirty, wet. And then he's discovered by a local. Well, he thinks he's a local, but he's not. He's actually just a person there on a starship. And this person's name is Janice Casimir. And Caleb fears that he's going to be turned in by Janice, and he knows what the clones would do to him if he gets turned in. But it's strange at this point. Janice Casimir doesn't turn him in. He says, hey, look, I'll offer you some food. And Caleb says, I need sleep. And Janice says, okay, I'll let you come on board my ship and let you sleep. And just about that time, Caleb's communicator goes off with an emergency signal from the Jedi, and when he asks Janice to take him to the location of the transmission, he gets denied. But he's so overcome by the need to get to that transmission that when Janice leaves the ship, he walks off the ship and leaves Caleb on the ship, which is a bad move, by the way, because Caleb is so driven at this point to get to that transmission location. So Janice steps off. He's being questioned by, or I don't even know if this character is a male or female at this point, but Janice is getting questioned by the troopers of some particulars, and of course Janice is like, are you kidding me, the last time, and blah blah blah. I'll let you read the book for that part. I don't want to spoil that section. It's actually quite interesting in that part. And just as those troopers are kind of interrogating Janice, Caleb jumps into the cockpit pilot seat and hijacks the Kazmiri, which is Janus's ship, and sets a hyperspace trajectory to the location of that transmission. And I thought that that was interesting because he's acting out of haste. He's just going without thinking first, and that's particularly not wise of a Jedi to just jump right in. They usually think very methodical before they jump into a potentially dangerous situation. But of course, he's still a Padawan. He's not a full Jedi yet. So it's going to be interesting to see where that pans out. And of course, the trajectory, once it's set with the hyperspace, it can't be changed. So in the middle of this hyperspace travel, he gets a holographic image message from Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Obi-Wan's telling him what has really happened at this point and not to come back to the temple. But at this point, again, the trajectory's already been set and it's too late. He can't stop. So when he comes out of hyperspace, he's already surrounded and he's being ordered to stand down or be destroyed. And you've got to wonder, all right, so what's he going to do next? But at that point, the book ends. This is one of the fastest comic books that I read. I read this thing in probably 8-9 minutes. And I felt like I got everything out of this book. And I went back and I read it again, and it equally was just as fast to read it. So it's a very, very fast-paced comic book for Kanan #2. And it ends with Kanan being surrounded, and he has to make a decision. What is he going to do next? And the next book is going to hit the stands of your favorite LCS June 10th, 2015. You have got to get this in your comic pull list at your LCS. If there's no LCS around you, find an online location where you can get it, but definitely get the Kanan, The Last Padawan series in your subscription, no matter how you do it, except for the Marvel subscription services. I can tell you that I've heard a lot of people with the Marvel subscription services getting their comics late, damaged, just destroyed, mangled. So I can't highly recommend that. I've never used them myself, but I have seen several people that I know in the comic book collecting arena that have dropped their Marvel subscription services very recently because of poor handling of the comic books. So definitely pick this up locally. You know me, I'm a big proponent and supporter of local first. Buy from your local comic shop. It's because it's good for the local community. It's good for small business. It's good for everything that is local to you in your comic book collecting arena, because if you don't support these local comic shops, you never know what's going to happen to them. So support your local comic shop. Buy your comics locally if you can. If not, then go to your online resources. But this is Kanan, The Last Padawan, #2. Again, I picked up the CGI variant cover for #2. That's it right here. And I also picked up the 5th printing variant for Star Wars #1. Very, very cool on that one. All of my comics are in BCW 2mm Mylar with their backing boards. A phenomenal product. I buy them myself, so this is just me giving you my opinion on that. And I've been able to work out a deal for you with BCW where you can save 10% off of your retail purchases by using the promo code SCOTTYD. No spaces, just in the promo code block, type SCOTTYD. It's that simple. And during your checkout, you're going to save 10% on that. If you would, please give this video a thumbs up if you really liked it. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. It's my video review. It's my thoughts. It's my first impressions. So it is what it is. But definitely, please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. Comment below. I'd love to see your comments on this series. Let me know what you thought about this particular comic book right here. #2 of the Kanan, The Last Padawan series. I love this comic book. I love this series. This one in particular was fast-paced, a lot of action, a lot of things to take in a very short amount of time. Very, very enjoyable book. If you would, please subscribe to my channel. It's real simple to do so. All you have to do is click on the subscribe icon on my main YouTube channel page. And right to that, there's a gear icon. After you click the subscribe icon, go into that gear icon, click on it, and enable updates. It's going to let you know when I post a brand new video here on my channel. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you so very much. I do appreciate you being right there as a subscriber. And if you want to kick it up a notch above being just a channel subscriber, I've got a way for you to do so and get some perks and rewards along the way. You can become part of the Techertainment Elite by becoming a channel patron. And pledge your support monthly to all of the efforts and endeavors that I'm doing here on my channel that will help this channel grow and excel beyond expectations, and it'll meet your needs and desires as well, because you get to vote, you get to be in the table when I make decisions on what I'm going to be doing here on my channel. That's part of the perks and rewards you get, along with many others, by becoming a channel patron. Go on over to patreon.com/ScottyDOnline. Watch the video, read what the campaign's all about, see what the perks and rewards are, and if you feel so compelled afterwards and you want to get involved, I thank you so much for your monthly pledge. Again, Kanan, the Last Padawan, and until the next video here on my comic book series or any other video here on my channel, thanks for watching. Be good to each other. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you next time, Web World.